Guys, coming to you from down at my dad's farm, and we're in the middle of a project and just going to kind of show you what we've been working on. I didn't get footage all the way through. My dad did a lot of the work while we're gone. I helped him put it back together. We're trying to haul some chicken litter before this next round of rain comes through. He has a Bobcat T650. This machine has about 2,000 hours, I think, and we were having a roller stick. It would make a grinding noise when you were running, and initially it's a god-awful noise when it happens, and we thought we had hydraulic issues. It sounded like the hydraulic pump was messing up in the machine, and so we did a bunch of testing with hydraulics. We thought we put foam and hydraulic fluid in. That wasn't the issue. So finally, upon inspection, we figured out that one of these rollers was actually the bearing and it was bad. So it's one of the rollers you see there. It's let's see, yeah, right there. So there are 4 of those on each side. So we took the track off and replaced those rollers, replaced the rear idler, and then we turned the sprockets around as well. Daddy did this one afternoon on that while I was gone. But you just take those 6 bolts out, put your bolts in, thread them, pull that off. And what it was is these were wearing. That's on this sprocket was on the other side, so it's wearing here from where it's on the pins of the track up underneath. So as we swap them around, you can see the groove cut here, and then there's not a groove here. So that's almost like putting new sprockets on. This is your plate. You take that plate off. There are 2 grease fittings there. You loosen one grease fitting, and as you collapse the track, that's where your grease comes out and how it releases. All there is to changing these rollers, once you get the track off, there's a bolt here and a bolt on the inside. It's actual groove. You loosen those bolts and those rollers just fall right out. So these rollers were about, at the Bobcat place, these rollers were $380 a piece. The rear idler roller was $400, and then we just swapped these side to side. So all in all, you know, there were a couple of these that were still good on the other side. I'll show you the ones we took off, and it's just one of those things. We decided to just change them all while we were going. But the bearings are gone. Daddy's actually going to try to figure out a way to replace these bearings. But the bearing on the inside's got a lot of play on these. You can't tell. There you go. You can see how that one's definitely worn out. There's a lot of play in that. And that's where our noise was coming from. And then you can see the wear on the rear idlers there. It's a pretty big investment to change that, but it's one of those things. He recently put new tracks on as well, so it's just one of those things that it's got to be done. But replacing it yourself and getting it done, I mean, it should be another couple of 1,000 hours before he has to do anything to it. One of the tricks, and we just got some spotty camera footage, but one of the tricks to putting these tracks back on that I think you'll see in the little bit of video that I got, but this machine here has an option to change the way you control the machine ISO, and if you flip it to H, that runs like what I call the case controls. So when you flip it to that, each joystick will independently run your tracks on the side. So when we go to put those things back together, I swap it to H, and then you can roll one side. So when you get it close, we sat the tracks on the rear sprocket with the tractor, and then we work it forward with isolating each side. Jack the machine up, and we put some wood in there and roll it forward. Saves your back. Start rolling each side independently, put the track on that side, and once you get it where you want it, then you pump grease back in. It probably took us maybe a tube of grease, maybe a little bit more to do both sides. So it's one of those things. It's an expensive repair. It only has to be done every couple thousand hours according to your wear, but it's well worth doing. Now the machine doesn't have any noise to it. It runs back like it's new. It was well worth doing. How many hours does it have?
I think it's Just a little less than 2,000.
2018, 1900 maybe.
I don't even know for sure.
What is it?
1878.
Okay, so it's all according to how you guys run your machines. If you're on cement all the time running, it probably, you know, won't last that long. We're pretty particular on how we run the machines. We're not the best, we're not the worst. We try to take care of them. There's never any hired help on the machines. Sounds like a new one. Sorry guys, didn't get a lot of footage. It's one of those things I didn't think was worthy of filming until we got into it. And then I didn't have anything but this cell phone, so maybe it worked out decent. Thanks to Mr. Ray at the Bobcat place at Reinhardt Bobcat in Rome for all the help with the parts. Super nice guy. Y'all go check him out at the counter there. I know we can go with aftermarket parts for cheaper, but we just always have better luck going back with name brand. To me, you get what you pay for. You either pay it today or pay it later. So click that like and subscribe button. Maybe this helps somebody out. And if you got any questions, leave them in the comments, because I know there's a lot of stuff we just glanced over that's taken for granted that you guys know. But if you got any questions, leave them below and we'll catch you on the next one. We're actually going to load up the truck, put a little gravel in some potholes, and then we are going to put the litter bucket on, start hauling chicken litter. We got rain coming like every one of our videos in a day and a half, and we're going to try to get some hay fields covered, so you guys will have some hay footage before too long. So I'll just keep talking while Daddy's doing the work, and then as soon as I see him finish, I'll finish this video, and that would be about now. Thank you guys. See you on the next one. Update on the spreader truck chain. So we wound up putting a new chain in it from Chandler Equipment in Gainesville, Georgia. It's about a 2-hour drive from us, so went up there one day, purchased the chain. Me, Daddy, and Mark put this in about, it probably took us 4 hours. There's 4 ways you can put that chain in. So this is it. As you see, these links are offset welded. So if you put that chain in upside down, this bar would not sweep the floor. So if you turned it half over, it wouldn't. Also, you got to turn your links the correct way. I'm not gonna say that we had it in backwards to start with, but we had it in backwards to start with. And luckily, Daddy caught it before. We just had pulled it up in the truck. We hadn't done anything major, but we had these the opposite direction, just not watching what we're doing. So this way the sprocket will run on the chain. If you had that the other way, the sprocket would run on the pins and would wear the pins out. So we're about to load it up for the first time. Me and Daddy are going to start spreading some litter on this hay field. So I've got 2 hay fields covered. I've probably hauled maybe 30 loads of litter and just picked spots that I could that were dry enough to run on. So we probably need to haul about that much more. But anyway, just want to show you guys, we wound up not using the old chain for what this chain cost. I just didn't want to go back with the old one and then have it to break again. I'm tired of scooping for a little while. So hopefully this one's got a lot of years of running. So thanks guys, just want to give you an update. I know this is mixed with the other video, but anyway, that's a good little message. Sorry, got sidetracked. Got food, thank a farmer. Last note guys, you're probably wondering where Ben is. He is working with our chicken houses. We're getting chickens back Monday and Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, March 7th. We're getting chickens back in 6 days and 7 days. His farm Monday, mine Tuesday. We thought what I'm doing would probably be a little more interesting to you guys than him setting up chicken houses again. So he hasn't quit on us. He's just working on another task.